Hey, good morning. Welcome to Hobby Evolution, episode 992. A little behind, a little tardy. This morning is one of those where I feel like I'm going in half speed every little thing I'm doing. I wanted to talk about this topic, Travis Kelce affecting the card market. I created a thumbnail and Canva was slow. Now, I'm not blaming Canva for the slow download. I'm blaming myself for not creating the thumbnail last night. So I was working on that. I laid in bed a little longer than I should have, so I'm a little behind. And then it's like every little task when you're running behind, every task you do, it feels like you're going at half speed. Feels like everything, like in the smallest little, only sets you back 5 seconds, but it feels like it just builds. Oh my God, I can't find my belt. So here we are. Good morning. Happy Monday. We're in October. I guess we hit October yesterday. We're in October. We, I think, set a record high for temperature yesterday. I spent most of my day down here shipping. Did a little listing. Put in some Jackson Holidays, Jackson Cheerios, bunch of Jackson Holiday, bunch of Jackson Cheerio. Oh, some vintage, some Tom Seaver, some Yaz, Gunnar Henderson refractor. So some good stuff. Shop my eBay store, 99centcards.com. Link also in the description. There you go. Took Biscuit for a walk late afternoon. It's like, ooh, it feels very nice outside. So I'm like, got to be what time? About 5:30, 6 o'clock. I'm like, I'm going to grab a beer. I'm going to sit outside. And I was in such a rush all last week. I didn't really have time to just sit and relax. So I'm like, I'm going to have a beer, sit out on the patio right next to me over there. And I did. And about 30 seconds in, I hear, home run. I'm like, oh my God, my neighbor and this kid were out. Hopefully they don't see me down here because my patio is like down below ground level. But they're like up on ground level, so they can probably see down. I'm like, well, maybe they can't see me. They didn't say anything. So I pretended they weren't there, but it's like, I just wanted some peace and quiet. Now I got the ducks quacking, got the neighbors cheering home runs. Hey, speaking of home runs, the baseball season is over. There's no such thing as playoffs in my baseball world. The Cubs, they won 83 games. They fell one game short of my bold prediction of 84. The second wild card spot, though, did get 84 wins. In fact, both the second and third wild card teams, the Marlins and Diamondbacks, each won 84 games and are in the postseason. So, unfortunately, it wasn't the Cubs. But the Cubs, the way they played down the stretch, do I want to see 3 more games? I didn't watch any of the Brewers series, and I didn't watch the last Braves game. When the Cubs gave up leads, a 6-run lead, and then a 3 or 4 run lead, and on back-to-back nights in Atlanta, that's when I said, this season's over. I'm done watching. So I didn't watch the last 4 Cubs games. Fortunately, I didn't watch the Bears game yesterday because for some reason it wasn't on TV here. We had the fucking Vikings game. Oops. We had the Vikings game. And so I'm shipping. I'm in a zone, man. I go upstairs to, I don't know, get a bottle of water or something. And my wife goes, my mom and Bill are coming over in 15 minutes to move rugs. And I'm like, what? I didn't plan on this. Oh. And everything is a production with my mother-in-law, the notorious MIL. So I'm like, all right, let's get started. Cause I'm like busy. Like, okay, while we're waiting, let's move stuff around that we can so we can like not drag this out. Because everything's dragged out with the notorious MIL. So we put a rug. Can you see the rug? Yeah, you can see the rug. I got a rug. I don't know if that helps the sound any, but I've got a rug down here. This rug was below our kitchen table. And so I'm like, well, let's just move that. So we got that situated. And then we put the table back. And I said, how's it look? I'm like, before we start putting stuff back, make sure it's centered and all that. So, and I'm like, shit, her mom's coming over. It's not going to be centered. Well, I don't know if she noticed. Usually she does. She can spot a off-centered frame from across the park. So it's like whenever people are like, hey, I'm like, just wait till she comes because she's gonna see something wrong with it. Looks good to me. But she comes in and overrules. Even though it's our house, she overrules the hanging and the framing and all that. So it was a big to do. We got through it. We powered through. My back still hurts. But we powered through and we got it. So did that. Somebody's calling. Is there am I see my phone ringing and I'm like, sometimes when my phone rings, it's hey, you're muted. You're frozen. I recognize that number and I don't know who it. Oh, it's my drywall guy. Should I take it? Hello? Hey, what's happening? Doing well. Yourself? All right. What time you coming? Oh, they're here now, so I need to open the garage door. Okay, no problem. Okay, all right. I'll go up and open the garage door. All right. Yep. Talk to you later. Bye bye. All right. So the drywaller's here. I'll be right back. I got to open the garage door. All right. Whew. So here we are. Drywallers are here. Garage is open. So I don't know where I was at, but anyway, nice day yesterday. Took the dog for a walk. Did some more shipping and listing and shipping. So, and I did watch Hobby Hotline. I watched Hobby Hotline in replay yesterday as I was shipping, which is why I wanted to talk about Travis Kelce in the football card market. Rich Klein was the only one that was stating fact. Take a look at the Travis Kelce numbers. Look at the numbers. Taylor Swift most definitely is affecting the Travis Kelce football card market. So I want to share my thoughts on that. We're going to show actual numbers, and away we go. I just stole a line, and away we go. Isn't that the vintage guy? And away we go. All right. Where are we at? Not only am I late, I got interrupted. Good morning, Harlan. Happy Monday. This is like truly a case of the Mondays. This is, you're late. You get interrupted by a phone call. You have to leave and go up and open the garage. I had to move my wife's car out of the garage. Shane Koopmans, what's up? Good morning. Steve in the house. What's happening? See you in March. Yep. I'll see you. I'll see my Cubs fans in March, unless I see you in January at the Cubs convention. Yep. Cubs season. It's over. Oh yeah. We're going to talk about the Bears. I'm sure somebody's going to come in. Oh yeah. I see Harlan's got a comment. So we'll talk Bears. Max, what's up? Week 2 of my social media feed being full of old white males being upset that one of the most recognizable people in the entire world is being talked about on their TV program. Nailed it. Max nailed it. Max nailed it. David, what's up? Good morning. Harlan says Bears are on the clock for the 2024 draft. You know, I'm glad the Bears somehow lost yesterday's game because they suck. And I had a debate in one of my group chats yesterday about, because I'm like, my feeling is the Bears are going to win enough games because they were up like, 28-7 yesterday. I didn't watch the game, but I was following some of the scores. Justin Fields had a great game. I know he made some poor decisions in the fourth quarter, but remember, let's pump the brakes on Justin Fields here. He looked like shit for 3 weeks against decent, and the Chiefs are a good team. They played the Broncos yesterday. This is the same Denver Broncos team that last week gave up 70 points. 70. Not 17, 70 with a 0 after the 7. The Denver Broncos gave up that. So Justin Fields looking like a Pro Bowler against the Denver Broncos defense is not much to brag about. The Bears end up losing the game somehow. So the Bears lose to the Broncos. Bears are now 0-4. Now everybody's like, yep, they're the worst team in the NFL. I could have told you that after their game against the Packers. This is a really bad team. Really bad team. In the week before the Packers game, I said, nope, the Bears are going to win 11 games, going to win the division. And I was wrong. And then I watched one game, and it took me one game to figure out this is a really horrible, no good, bad football team. They will likely be, they likely will be on the clock for the number 1 overall pick. And hopefully Carolina is the second worst team. And we get their first round pick, and hopefully it's the number 2 pick. But the Bears will still suck next year if they have the same coaching staff, which I have a feeling they won't have the same coaching staff next year. I have a feeling that there'll be some turnover. So yeah, the Bears suck. They are who they thought. But I had the debate on draft purgatory. Somebody's like, there's no such thing as draft purgatory in the NFL. Yes, there is. Yes, there is. It's not as bad as the NBA. Like if you finish in the middle of the NBA and you're the 15th pick, yeah, it sucks because you're not good enough to be a playoff team and you're not going to get a top 5 talent. And really in the NBA, it's like 3. You need to be in the top 3. Football, same. And so one of the guys was like, well, the best player from last year's draft was the whatever pick. And I'm like, you're grading a draft 3 football games into careers? No. So I countered that with, well, the best football player ever was a 6th round pick. Are you going to roll the dice with a 6th? Would you rather have the 6th round pick or a 1st round pick? Like we can start nitpicking all day long to prove our points. The reason you want a high pick is because that at the moment in time of your drafting, you don't have hindsight in your back pocket at the NFL draft. You are drafting the best players. There's no contract negotiations for the most part. Every once in a while, the top player, there's a little shady business going on. I don't want to play for you, blah, blah, blah. Contract stuff. It's not baseball. So you're not like punting picks for the most part. Does it happen? Maybe. But at that moment in time, those are basically the best players, and by need. Doesn't necessarily mean if you have the 7th overall pick, it doesn't go chalk. It's not like the 7th, but it depends on the talent evaluator, and each team evaluates the talent differently. But for the most part, those are the best players that they want to pick. And you're not going to take the 15th best player with the 1st pick. Now, 10 years later, 5 years later, 3 years later, the best player might be the 15th pick. But there's a reason at that moment in time they were taken 15th overall. Draft purgatory. That was my fear. Was shit. The Bears are going to win enough games. They're going to be in football draft purgatory. They're going to take like the 15th pick. But then losing a game against the Denver, well, I think they're on track for the number 1 pick. I really do. I hope. Hopefully they don't right the ship. I'd rather just make it competitive. Like last year, Bears had the number 1 overall pick. I still enjoyed watching Bears football because they were somewhat competitive. They were competitive. The offense was scoring. The defense was letting up big scores, but the offense was scoring. So this year's a little disappointing because you thought it was going to be a better team, but maybe once we realize, yeah, it's a really bad team, we'll roll with it. Who knows? Carlo does vintage. What's up? Good morning. Is it college basketball season yet? Good morning, George. What's happening? I should say good evening to you. If you buy his cards, then you must not change your own oil. That's true. You're listening to Bubblegum Pop, taking your car to Quick Lube for an oil change. The Bears are sucking. That's what the Bears are doing. Shane, go Broncos. The ugliest, greatest game I've seen in a while. Our D needs to play like they did in the second half every game. Yeah, they gave up. Did they give up any points in the second half? What was was it 31-28? Was that the final score? And I think it was 28-14 at halftime. Yeah. Hey, I'm rooting for the Broncos too because I'm wanting the number 1 pick. Lose out, Bears. Might as well go for a winless season, right? Cooter, what's up? Good morning. Matt's in the house. Royals 417. Good morning to you. We've got Hobby News Daily. Ziggy in the chat. Victor, good morning to you. Steel Cards in the house. Good morning. I made my first multi-card sale this weekend. Congrats. Always fun. I enjoy the multi-card sales. Shane says, hell yeah. Way to go. It's a great feeling. Love it. Hall of Fame card collector says, check under the sheets for your belt. No, you know where my belt was? Because sometimes I wear the same shorts and jeans. That's the perk of working in your basement. You can wear the same clothes day after day. So my belt was still in my shorts that I wore 2 days in a row. I wore the same shorts Saturday at the Madison Card Show, and then I wore them again yesterday because I was wearing like sweatpants and in my hoodie like all day. And it was like, this is a sweats and hoodie Sunday, man. Shipping cards in my sweats and hoodie. And then it's like, I should probably get out of the house. Biscuit wants to get walked. So, and it's 87 degrees. I probably should put some shorts on. So I'm like, I'll just wear the shorts I wore yesterday. So my belt was still in those shorts. Mark says, speaking as a long-suffering Jets fan, the league had no intention of the Jets beating the Chiefties on national team. Chiefties, I like that. with Taylor Swift in attendance. Now get off my lawn. Good morning. Buy your Powerball ticket. It's $1 billion. I know who this must be. It's Low Roller Scratcher. Shane says, if you're the Jets, how do you allow Mahomes those 2 massive runs on 3rd down? Jets D made me so mad, and Zach Wilson looked like amazing for once. If he keeps that up, Jets could be dangerous again. I don't think I watched any football yesterday. Good morning, John. What's up? I had it on my. We're in the middle of like moving shit around. And my mother, the notorious MIL's companion, said, "Can you turn the football game on?" And I'm like, "But I'm on my knees rolling up a carpet. Give me a chance." But yes. So I go for the remote. My wife's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "We might as well have. I'm going through this. I might as well have something on TV." And then that's when I realized the Bears weren't. I'm like, son of a, you got to be kidding me. We had the Vikings game, and then what was the other game? The Bills and Dolphins. So I had the Bills and Dolphins on. But I wasn't really, there's that Monday yawn. But I wasn't really paying attention. Andy Max says, good morning. I get to work 11 hours today, parent-teacher conference. See, 11 hours isn't so bad, but parent-teacher conference, oof. I always dreaded parent-teacher conferences as a student because my parents were usually going in because I was, not a good student. It's like, oh shit, what's my teacher going to say? And then my parents come home. Mrs. Poole says this. And I'm like, Mrs. Poole's a liar. Mrs. Poole's a liar. Parent-teacher conference. Low Rollers out looking for free bonuses. Wow. Shane says Cedar Rapids closed today due to social media threats. FBI is involved. Jesus. See, I know that was a thing, like setting off the fire alarm, calling in a BOMB threat. I know that stuff was a thing in the 80s and 90s. I don't remember it being as prevalent, but we also didn't have social media. So everything is blown up. I don't think any of us would know each other if it weren't for the internet, right? Maybe Max, because we do card shows. Some of the card show people in here. But for the most part, I think that's how word spreads, and the news. So we hear about all this stuff. Oh, back when I was in school, we didn't do that. Bullshit. Bullshit. And it may not have been this exact thing, but it was something similar. I don't remember. We didn't really have any bad troublemaker. I was voted most mischievous in high school. That's pretty weak. But it was also mischievous. It wasn't most likely to go to jail or something like that. Because I wasn't getting in trouble with the police. I was getting in trouble with Mrs. Poole because I was a little shithead. And I'd talk back and I wouldn't do my homework and I'd, just goof off in class. I was a class clown. Every dude in my class was a class clown, though. We had a teacher. I don't know if she's passed away or not. I think she has. Mrs. Capes. And Mrs. Capes was not a friendly teacher. And she became the principal when I was in grade school, junior high. So when we were in junior high, we were just a level below. They thought we were bad. A couple of years later, they were drinking, bringing vodka on field trips in 8th grade. We weren't doing that. We were just throwing paper clips, doing stupid shit. And to this day, my friend, we still joke about this. And she enunciated weird words. And she'd always say, 8th grade, you're not gonna graduate. And it sounds like she's 105 years old, but she wasn't. She was, I don't know, teacher age, They're all the same. Teachers are all the same when you're in 8th grade. 8th grade? You're not going to graduate. So, but yeah, we were mischievous. We weren't like calling in threats. There were no fights. I don't think there was a single fight in my school, like at least among my peers in my class. I'm sure there were fights like among the older kids. But I don't remember, even when I was in high school, even when I was like a freshman, I don't remember any fights. We were all like gentle, you know. It's like none of us changed our own oil. I do remember Ty. Ty was a big dude, big farmer, big farm boy. And he would, to the freshmen, he was a senior when we were freshmen, he would take his class ring and he would flip it around, you know, so the big rock is down here. And he'd go up, and every time he saw a freshman, he'd go. Hurt like a son of a bitch, too. Zach and Porter, what's happening? Have a nice day. Max says the only thing worse than the people complaining about Swift are the ones that think pro sports are set up, right? Actually, I'm going to go into that. I'm not today. Today's Travis Kelce football cards. There was another thing on Hobby Hotline that it's like I disagreed with like all the takes on Hobby Hotline this weekend. It's like, no. Conspiracy. It was regarding marketing tops and their marketing ploys with these double superfractors. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow because I have a lot to share opinion-wise about that. Like, it's not a fucking marketing ploy. Same at what Max is saying. It's not a marketing ploy. I can hear my wife cleaning upstairs. It's not like what's she cleaning. It's like, what did I make a mess of? Peter, what's up? PK Steinberg in the house. I'm glad he had pants on. Red Light 34 in the house. Good morning. Hall of Fame card collector says he actually took a phone call. Yeah, I hate talking on the phone, but I knew if somebody's calling me, and I'm like, I recognize that number. And then when it dawned on me, I should probably put his name in there. So it's like, I recognize that number. I should probably take it. And then it came to me, oh, that's my drywall guy. And it's 7:30. Ooh, the drywallers might be waiting outside. Harlan says, riveting content. Love the mini Wrigley Field scoreboard. Ah, yes, my buddy Neil got that for me. I think it was like a going away gift or housewarming gift. Max says, remember when he left us on when the movers were there? Ah, the good times. The old house, the old card room. Johnny M, what's up? If you started the show and left it running without you being there, how long do you think people would watch for? That did happen when the movers were there, and we might have had the most chat going on that we ever have had on Hobby Evolution. When he does this, I always feel like we are going to be called witnesses to a murder investigation. Verona man murdered his dry wallet, claims he was recording video during the time of attack. Wouldn't that be crazy? Would that be crazy? The drywallers attacked me in the garage. Now, this is true reality TV right here. JG misses box 13. Box 13 is still in use, and yesterday I had to pull it out for a card sale, and I'm like, it's getting a little soft. And you know how they kind of sag? It's like, I probably should replace box 13. Maybe we should have it on display. We'll move the Stephen King book over here and put that little award on top of box 13. Low Roller wants to know if you're getting Powerball tickets. Once he gets back from that run upstairs, he's going to be breathing like Eric submitting tanks and running bases. That is when I have to run. It's like, oh man, I'm out of breath. It's like, do you smoke? You're out of breath running the stairs. No, I'm just out of shape. I'm just fat and out of shape. Online witnesses were split with their testimony. Some believe free cardboard pictures of athletes used as bribery and to witness tampering. Low Roller Scratcher said that Bo's lack of following his incessant recommendations pushed him towards a life of crime. And away we go. Oh, Jackie Gleason used to say it. Okay. So I'm just stealing it from Jackie Gleason. Okay. I feel better. Arn Dogs in the house. Happy October. It's baseball playoff time for some teams, not the Cubs. John says that's the Broncos all over. They even suck at tanking, right? Hey, if you're going to suck, you might as well be great at it. And the Bears so far through 4 games are proving. My wife is still cleaning. What the hell is going on up there? It's not even 8. She shouldn't even be awake. It's not even 8 o'clock yet. It could be worse. You could be an A's fan. Yeah, ain't that the truth? Oof. Like, I wouldn't even watch baseball. If I was an A's fan, I wouldn't even watch baseball. Because if the Cubs weren't competitive, like if they would have sold at the deadline, I would have stopped watching in July or August, whenever the trade deadline was. Kyle's in the house. What's up? The Bears are the Bears. Talladega was a good race, at least. Well, there you go. I found some more, not NASCAR, but there were like packs, and it's like junk wax of like, what the fuck is going on up there? It's like, it's like, it sounds like somebody's cleaning up blood or something. What did I do? Did I black out, murder the drywallers while I was upstairs? Some like NHRA, like packs, like Pro Set, I think. So those will be in your NASCAR boxes. Remember Brian Urlacher and Paris Hilton? Oh yes, that was a thing. That was sure a thing. Tony Romo and Carrie Underwood, Aaron Rodgers and Olivia somebody, can't remember her last name. Jonathan, what's up? Good morning. Maybe my wife murdered the drywallers. You play to win the game. JG, what's up? Caleb Williams and Marvin Harrison 1-2 would be a nice combo to start a franchise over. I know. That would be great. I don't know what the hell's going on up there. It's driving me nuts. But the coaching staff has to change. The coaching staff has to change because I don't trust Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce with this Bears coaching staff. Number 1 picks do not matter. It's all about team leadership. Lions fans know. That's true. That's where it starts with the Bears. Good morning, Tracy. What's happening? You better sell the 3rd string quarterback from Las Vegas. Look at your quarterback, sell him now. I wonder if it's the painter. But the painter's not supposed to be here today. Where do you go to source your Goodwill pallets? That's a secret I like to keep. No, you can go to the Goodwill website. Maybe it's the painter making all that noise. He's like, shut the fuck up. I'm working. Doing what you paid me for. If you go to the Goodwill website, goodwill.com, you can find pallets. 3rd string quarterback from Las Vegas starts this week. Yeah, wasn't that Aiden O'Connell, Purdue guy? In school, we did do that. Well, there wasn't 40 people recording it on their phones, so there's no evidence, and therefore we didn't do it right. Can you imagine? Can you imagine? Oh, look at Low Roller looking for free bonuses. When Bailey Zappi came in yesterday, I went and listed my auto of him. Sold in 10 minutes, made $20. Isn't that fun about quarterbacks, the quarterback market? Let's see. Oh, maybe it is the drywallers in the stairwell. I don't know. I don't know. It's driving me crazy. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but it's driving me absolutely fucking crazy. Yeah, I don't think it's the painters. No, maybe it is the painters. No. Moving on. Do you have any tips on storage of your eBay inventory listed and how to get rid of base bulk? So base bulk, I do Facebook Marketplace. I mean, you got to sell for like fractions of a penny. We're talking like 10 cards for a penny to actually get rid of it. I don't know if other people have had better success, but that's where I've had to go. And really I think the more bulk it is, the less you can charge. Like when I'm doing it, I'm doing like 200,000 cards. And it's like 10 cards for a penny. I'm sure you could do a few thousand and get 5 cards for a penny. I don't know, half a penny a card. But Facebook Marketplace for bulk base. And it also depends. If it's like modern stuff, you can probably get a little more, maybe a penny a card. But if it's junk, you're kind of giving it away. Tips on storage for your eBay inventory. I do 4-row boxes, and I don't have a tab, but I use card dividers. And I mark like box 14, tab A. So this is box 14, tab A, and I do like 100 cards at a time and put those in 4-row boxes. Shane says, do you ever miss the old card room, or are you just happy to be out of there? I do not miss that because I have so much more space now. I do not miss it one bit, not one bit, because my card room here is much larger. It's about twice as large, twice as big. I have my own shipping area. I have my own office. So I don't miss it at all. Kyle says, sweet junk wax NHRA will be great for TTM. There you go. John says, next week is Friday the 13th. Are you sure those noises aren't Jason? He did. He came out of the pond. Shit. It's Jason Voorhees. I usually sell 1,200 card lots of base for $15. There you go. So what's that come out to be? 15 divided by 1,200. About a penny a card. That's good. So speaking of cards, let me see if I can bring up the old Terra Peak. So we're going to actually look at this is not like so when I say the Travis Kelce football card market is booming, this isn't just me in my opinion, right? Well, it's got to because Taylor Swift, blah, blah, blah. This is actually, we're going to look at actual numbers and show you that the Travis Kelce football card market is actually booming. Okay, so I've got that ready. So this was from Hobby Hotline. Saturday, I was listening as I was shipping yesterday, and I think 2/3 of the panel said no. Taylor Swift is not affecting the Travis Kelce football card market. I'm like, wait, what? Travis Kelce is all over the news right now. Like, my wife knows who Travis Kelce is. Now, you can say, well, is your wife buying Travis Kelce cards? No, of course not. She's also not buying Taylor Swift CDs. But go back to your childhood and I think of this like Madonna was big. New Kids on the Block. My cousin Michelle, she would have, if Madonna was dating, she had, guess who she wanted Jose Canseco baseball cards. She didn't like baseball. I don't think she knew what a baseball looked like. But because Jose Canseco was dating Madonna, she loved Madonna. She wanted Jose Canseco cards to go along with her Madonna posters and cassette tapes and all that bullshit. There was actually Madonna / Jose Canseco cards made, those old Broder, unlicensed cards back in 1989, 90, whenever they were dating. Did it affect the Jose Canseco market? Yes, absolutely. Why do we, when a new documentary comes out, hey, there's a documentary coming out on name your basketball, football, baseball player. Get your cards ready. There's a documentary coming out. Why? Because it's going to be on Netflix. And who's going to watch that documentary? People that probably don't typically watch Name Your Sport. And all of a sudden, even people within the hobby, they are, oh, hey, I'm going to buy, sell. One of the arguments made on Hobby Hotline Saturday about this topic was, well, I don't want Swifties in the hobby if they're just doing it because they like Taylor Swift. That's an absurd comment if you want the hobby to grow. That is a get off my lawn, I'm a true collector take. And that's a bullshit take. It's a bullshit take because if you really, truly want the hobby to grow, you're going to have people you don't like in the hobby. Like that's just, we all can't be the same collector. And if you truly want the hobby to grow and continue for generations, you're going to have some of this outside influence. Also, if you are a seller of cards, you absolutely want these non-collectors coming in and buying cards because they're buying cards. Guess what happens when short-term collectors come in and buy cards? It brings in money from outside the hobby. And where is that money going to? The hobby. Somebody comes in. Guess how many Travis Kelce cards I sold this week? 0. Guess how many I have listed? 0. That's going to change later today. I should have done it last week, but I just ran out of time. But I'm going to I've been pulling, as I was building my quarter boxes, I was building a stack of Travis Kelce. I'm like, I'm going to take advantage of this. Because that could likely be sold to a Swiftie or somebody outside of the hobby, bringing money in. And where am I going to put the money? Most likely back into the hobby. It is my business, so that's where it's going to go. So it's absolutely good to have short-term collectors in the hobby because it's adding money into the hobby ecosystem. And we want that if we want it to grow. Do we have to be friends and cohorts with the Swifties? And no, absolutely not. But we'll take their money. So it's absolutely a good thing. And some of the comments were, well, I just don't see it affecting, why would Swifties want football cards? Because 12-year-old boys and girls, they don't think like old men like us. Like, are we going to go out and buy Taylor Swift albums because we are a Chiefs fan? No, probably not. But a 12-year-old might. A 12-year-old would ask their parents. Actually, if you've seen 12-year-olds at card shows, they have more money than we do. How does that happen? Bitcoin, I bet. So it's absolutely affecting the football card market. We're gonna get into we're gonna actually show you proof. We're just not gonna assume and give opinions. We're gonna show actual numbers. So before we do that, though, let's go into the chat real quick. Shane says Travis Kelce spot in a case of 2023 Mosaic break went for over $50 in auction. Now, I don't know the market for any breaks on football. So in most breaks on baseball. So that doesn't really, my basic knowledge of Mosaic and player spots, that seems like a lot. Like a Travis Kelce spot in a mosaic break in a case. That seems like a lot to me, but I don't know. I don't have anything to compare it to. So if you do have numbers to compare it to, I'd like to hear. Max says, wait, they said she wasn't affecting sales. His jersey sales were up 400% in a day last week. Again, old white men. So that was brought up. They did cite that, but they're like, I can see it affecting jersey sales, but I can't see it affecting the football card market. Well, why? Why would it affect one piece of the hobby, even though it's not cards per se? Well, it's not cards at all. It's not cards, but why would there be a difference there? So yes. Shane says, Kelce jersey sales went from 17th most sold jersey to top 5 most sold in a week. So I will say, to be fair, that was mentioned. That was mentioned on Hobby Hotline over the weekend. Let's see. So yes, I did share these numbers. So if you did see me on Twitter yesterday, I did cite these numbers on Twitter yesterday. So surprise. Shane says 900,000 new followers on Twitter in a week. That T-Swizzle money spends exactly the same. Right. And I made in kind of on the same lines in terms of money. One of the recent shows I was at was talking about, like, I can't believe you sell all those like quarter cards and bargain box cards. And I'm like, $1's a dollar, man. $1, because at the end of the day, if I make $500, $600, $700, $800, it's the same as selling a couple $400 cards. $1's a dollar. Hall of Fame card collector, can we get a tour of your card room? Absolutely. Once I get things kind of straightened up, it's getting there. I had so much inventory coming in and going out last week that, but I do want to do that. I've got boxes still in my rec room that I need to get cleaned up. My card room is kind of a mess still. My shipping room's a disaster. So yeah, eventually, I will get around to doing that. Max says, do those idiots that were saying this realize how much money they made off people that gave 2 shits about the hobby 3 years ago? That's a good point. That's a good point. Old men yelling at their TVs are not who should be giving hobby advice. Bo is dropping some hot takes. Max says, I tried to make a point that Swift is probably the biggest music act ever or will be soon, and I was crapped on. She's probably bigger than Elvis or Michael Jackson at this point. I don't know if she's bigger, but she's definitely up there on, a Mount Rushmore-ish list of musical acts. Madonna. Taylor Swift right now I would say Taylor Swift is on par with where Madonna was in the 80s. And that's huge. That's huge. So yeah, Taylor Swift is definitely up there. I would, and that's just me speaking out like anecdotally. I would like to see the numbers, and I would like to see them adjusted for inflation. What Taylor Swift's sales are doing, concert numbers compared to what Madonna was doing in the 80s and early 90s. Social media followers equals money spend increase in all avenues, but those can barely turn on their compact Presario don't understand. So, is the Taylor Swift market affecting Travis Kelce football card sales? Fuck yes, it is. So, we're going to go back and let's do week. I looked at numbers from, what did I look at numbers from? Because I wanted to do Saturday to Saturday sales. So, September 24th, last Sunday, 8 days ago, was when Taylor Swift first appeared at a football game watching Travis Kelce from a suite, Bears and Chiefs. So let's go back. And so that was what, week 3? So week 2, week 1. Let's go back. Let's take a look at, let's just go back and we're going to do Saturday to Saturday. So we're going to start from Saturday, September 2nd. To Saturday, September 9th. This is, by the way, and I'm going to share my screen here. Present. Share screen. Okay. So we're using Terapeak on eBay. So these are eBay sales. Now, I would say that eBay sales are a really good, platform to look at overall sales as a market because it's the largest sales platform on the internet. Yeah, there's other platforms, Gold, but you're not going to have, Travis Kelce football cards on Golden or Heritage or REA or any of that. So we're going to do Travis Kelce. And we're just going to do Travis Kelce, but we're going to do in the trading card category. Let's see. So in trading card singles, so this is, again, Saturday, September 2nd through Saturday, September 9th. Let me get a Post-it note so I can write these numbers down. So here you go. Average sold price was $20.50. Total sold was $1,461. So there you go. So that was September 2nd through September 9th. 1,461 Travis Kelce football cards were sold on eBay. Average sold price was $20.50, which is a little higher than I thought it would be. So now we're gonna do September 9th through September 16th. And trading card singles. And we're going up. Now we're like kind of in the heart of football season. I don't know when the news broke that these two were, I think actually it did come out a couple of weeks before they appeared together on the 24th, but it was just rumors. But I think we're going to see an explosion. I've already seen the numbers. We will see an explosion once they were seen when Taylor was at the Chiefs-Bears game. So now we're going to go September 16th through the 23rd. So this captures the week leading up to that game in Kansas City. Holy moly. We went all the way up to $31.06 on average. Didn't see much of a spike in sales volume, though. Went from 1670 to 1709. So not much of an increase there. So now let's see what the Taylor Swift. Now we go into the week where she did appear in a suite at a Chiefs football game. Let's see if Taylor Swift had any effect on the Travis Kelce football card market. Remember, it was the 24th. So this captures Saturday, September 23rd through Saturday, September 30th. That captures the Chicago Bears game on the 24th where she was at a suite. Wow. Look at that. The average sale price increased from $31.06 to $40.48. And look at that volume sold. We went from 1,709 football card sales to 3,089. Now tell me that Taylor Swift didn't have an impact on Travis Kelce football cards. And now let's just take a look at the last couple days. Let's go September 30th to, yesterday. And let's just see how many cards sold yesterday. Look at that. Almost 1,000 cards from midnight Saturday to midnight Sunday, or midnight Sunday to midnight Monday. 970 Travis Kelce cards sold in a day, September 30th to October 1st. So now tell me that Travis or Taylor Swift hasn't affected the Travis Kelce football card market. Okay, what's the chat have to say? Max, it was Hobby Hotline. Just type in Hobby Hotline. I think it was on the Bench Clear Media channel. Our buddy Uncle Rich was on point. He was fighting the good fight. It was 1 against 2. It was 1 against 2 on the panel, but Uncle Rich was fighting the good fight. What years of baseball cards in the 80s and 90s sell well? None of them. I mean, the early 80s sell better than the late 80s, but basically none of them. Basically none of them. Shane says 80 to 94, 95 suck, don't sell well. Yeah, none of them really sell well. Let's see. Max says 1.04% higher sell-through, 0.21% higher sell-through, 2.49%. That's a lot. Yes. Yes, it is. So Taylor Swift, absolutely. And as I was, it's like, this is just basic. This is like basic economics. Like when you have a talent, a celebrity, the caliber of Taylor Swift, like the biggest celebrity on this planet, dating a football player. Do you think it's going to affect everything? It's going to affect ticket sales at the Kansas City Chiefs games. It's going to affect jersey sales, which we saw the numbers there. We saw the football card sales. It's going to affect everything. Like I said, my wife gets an e-news alert. She knows who Travis Kelce is now. Before 2 weeks ago, my wife didn't even know what the Kansas City Chiefs were. If I would have said Taylor Swift is dating a Kansas City Chief, she would be like, what the hell is that? Sounds like a car. Like, no, it's a football team. Oh, are they in the same league as the Bears? Yeah, well, kind of. They're in the other conference. They're in the same league, different conference. Max says, how many dealers at shows were buying them to have them on their table? I'm sure a ton. I didn't. Somebody asked me yesterday about or on Twitter or something I saw. I wasn't paying attention to what was, and I didn't ask. I know somebody was buying Joe Burrow cheap, buying the dip because Joe Burrow's kind of struggled this year. But outside of that, I didn't hear much buzz around the Packers. I certainly didn't hear any buzz around the Bears, obviously. I do know Tua. I sold some Tua card. Like I had a bunch of Tuas in my dollar box and they were moving fast. But outside of that, and that was coming off scoring 70 points last week. Max says, can buy a Kelce card for $5 or a jersey for $100. Smaller spend. Absolutely. Shane says, Swifties are going to football games to wait outside her suite to get a picture. Yeah. Cooter says, my 16-year-old daughter came downstairs and wanted me to turn on the game because of Swift. Yeah, that's the impact. Look at that. That's the impact that Taylor Swift has. And it's trickle down. It trickles down from watching the game. It trickles down from buying tickets to go to the game, to watching the game on TV, to buying jerseys, to buying football cards. There is a trickle down. Now, does that mean every Taylor Swift fan is going to go on eBay and buy Travis Kelce cards? No, but if you can capture some of that segment, it's going to boost sales. And we saw what that did week over week in almost 100% increase in sales. It's just should be seemingly common sense. We see that. Why do you think people go out and there's a spike in, 3 years ago, there was a spike in Michael Jordan. Shit, BJ Armstrong. I was selling BJ Armstrong, John Paxson, Horace Grant cards for like $1 a piece on eBay in 2020 because of the Last Dance documentary. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, there's a documentary. And it was like, and now it's not really a thing. It's certainly not a thing. It's still, there's a trickle down, but it's not as big of an impact as what we saw as COVID was beginning with the Last Dance. I mean, that was like the perfect storm. You had people in their house. All of a sudden we've got this documentary about arguably the greatest dynasty in NBA history, the greatest player in NBA history. And we're all stuck at home. And there's a bunch of 40-year-old dudes like, oh man, I was a kid watching Jordan and those Bulls teams. I'm going to go to eBay and buy some cards. And you got extra money coming in. You're not spending money on games and restaurants and all that. Max says, I heard Romeo Dobbs' name about 20 times more than anybody else's. Interesting. So Romeo Dobbs is a hot name. I'll have to dig out my Bowman U cards. Hey, and Dad collects cards. Maybe he can buy me a card of him to add to my Swift collection. There you go. Yeah, absolutely. If Swift were to run for president, she might win. Relevancy matters. She probably should too. Max says, wait, LeBron was part of a dynasty. LeBron James. King James. So that's what I had to share. I was a little late today, a little interruption today. Happy Monday. So, still hot. So I'm going to go back to shipping. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel. Visit my eBay store. I'm going to do a bunch of shipping and hopefully can get some Travis Kelce cards listed in my eBay store today. By the way, let's do another. This is less impactful as sales. We already looked at sales, but let's look at Travis Kelce on eBay. Let's add this to the stage. So Travis Kelce, we need to go to trading card singles. And let's just see, 34,000 plus results. 34,000 plus results for Travis Kelce in trading card singles. Travis Kelce, a tight end, dating Taylor Swift. Look at this. Right off the bat, you've got a fake card, not a fake card, a custom ACO art. Now, let's look at Patrick Mahomes. So what do we have? 34,000 plus? Let's look up old Patty Mahomes. Trading card singles, 19,000. There are almost twice as many Travis Kelce football cards on eBay than there are Patrick Mahomes football cards. That is the impact of Taylor Swift. There you go. Now tell me that Taylor Swift isn't impacting football cards and Travis Kelce. So, why are people listing? Because they're selling. So, that's what I had for today. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, visit my eBay store. What else? eBay store, scrolling. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning. I want to talk about conspiracy theories and tops and their double superfractors, because I have an opinion on that I disagreed with Hobby Hotline. And it was kind of the chat. It was more of the chat that I was disagreeing with as opposed to the panel on that one. But we'll touch on that. So have a great day. Have a great Monday. We'll be back at it tomorrow morning. Hopefully I'll be on time tomorrow at 7 a.m. Central. Hopefully we also won't have any interruptions and I don't have to go upstairs and move cars and open the garage and all that crap. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.